Alrighty, so the big question here today is which R looks better, the one on the left or the one on the right? I've been messing with this for minutes on minutes now, and I don't know which one is like more aesthetically appealing. Oh, and it's Minecraft update season again, you beautiful blokes. Now buckle up, let's do this. Oh boy, so for me to say that I was excited, that's an understatement. Today's changelog is absolutely massive. I can't fit this in my pocket if I tried to. This thing is insane. Minecraft updates, they're back, and they're back with a bang. Now, I just want to get it out of the way real quick here. Minecraft Java snapshots. Unfortunately, nothing this week. I've got a video more on what's going on Java side coming very soon, so keep your eyes out for it. But hopefully, fingers crossed, it looks like next week will be the week. So for today's video, I want to kick things off with changes that are maybe a little bit less exciting and will slowly, but actually pretty quickly escalate things. The per blocks. Never believed the day would come because, to be honest, I never really thought about the day coming here, but the per blocks, they have been flattened. The flattening is continuing big time inside of this week. The previously unused chiseled and smooth per blocks were renamed. Huh? Unused? Okay, so I didn't know these blocks were here. They're called depreciated per block number 1 and number 2, but please, somebody enlighten me. What in the world are these blocks? Why are they here? And why are they just not here at the same time? According to our lovely little changelog, unfortunately, they are just not here. They're hidden from creative inventory and commands, huh? Another interesting change when it comes to blocks has to do with fences, water, and these other blocks. So something like kelp, something like seagrass, previously you would have been able to place these on fences somehow. Same with the sea turtle egg. No longer is that going to work. You gotta place them on normal, full, solid blocks, just like on Minecraft and Java. I feel like this is going to break some kind of strange farm out there, but maybe that's a niche. For you creators out there, added new vanilla block item tags to support vanilla item tier level destruction speeds for data-driven blocks. And for the normal players out there and flying mobs in the game, all flying mobs will treat all wood blocks, whether it's stripped, plain old wood, solid logs, whatever you want to call it, they'll treat them all the same. If I were crazy, I would call this an essential fix for Mojang to add more flying mobs to the game. And this is an essential fix for Mojang to add more flying mobs to the game in the future. Alright, now we got bigger and better things to move on to today, lads. So to finish up the whole flattening stuff real quickly here for you, take a look, pause it on screen right here. We've got a little bit of changes when it comes to destruction time with sandstone and endstone. Prismarine and all these other walls changed as well, and then the flattening happened for every single wall type in the game. Alright, so you want to know what was funny? Just earlier this morning, I was thinking back to like right before the release of Minecraft 1.21 and how we were speculating on like, hey, wasn't there meant to be more trial chambers added to the game? Or at least like, there was teasers, right? Well, I think I've done it. I actually completely broke the trial chamber command. It says it's 65 blocks away, and there is absolutely no trial chamber within 65 blocks. Here we go. Let's go ahead and try this one more time. So this chamber right here is a familiar one. It's called Assembly. It's a pretty nice chamber. In fact, it's one of my favorite ones, but right at the entrance, well, what do we have here but a brand new component inside of the structure? So this little piece of the puzzle is actually going to replace something that was in the structure just one update ago in the full release. That thing that's being replaced are the empty chests sitting around the structure. Instead of empty chests, you're going to find hoppers and barrels now. This is all meant to make it a little bit more clear that, hey, no, that empty chest, it's not missing loot. Instead, you're supposed to walk up to this thing and drop items inside of it. It's for clearing out your inventory until the, oh my god, the bundle. They forgot. The bundle, I can't believe it, we're not here. The bundle, unfortunately, still is cut from Minecraft. The bundle does not exist. No matter how hard I try, there's no toggle or anything like it. Now, I don't know, I have a little bit of an interesting theory on this one, but maybe they're waiting to fully implement the bundle into the game on Minecraft and Java. So, like, once there's a snapshot, in the same week on Java and Bedrock, they will be adding the bundle, maybe, but I just think that's kind of funny because Java's had it for 3-4 years now, so interesting. Also, I don't think this was a change, like I didn't see it in the changelog, but this assembly chamber has generated way more packed in and dense than I've ever seen before on Minecraft Java, at least. Like, the amount of grates all over this thing making a proper good maze, that's pretty fire. Now, the extra storage chests, I believe they have been removed from the structure entirely. That means anytime you would have found like an empty chest where you could drop things off, instead you're gonna find a hopper and a barrel, which, whoa, that's a banger for all redstone fans out there because, I mean, look at that's going to be so many hoppers you could loot from the structure. I love it, though. This might be one of the first times in a Minecraft structure where they're actually, like, showing off the hopper and kind of explaining how it's used in-game. That's pretty sweet. Now, moving on to the rest of the structure, because that isn't the only change here. Inside of the hallways, we have a brand new thing called an encounter that will lead into bigger challenges. I'm not too sure what to expect here. They left it pretty vague in the changelog, but an encounter. Where could I perhaps encounter an encounter? This is definitely absolutely a big hallway. Are there any encounters? Is this an encounter? That looks different. So we have the big atrium room, okay, then this, I believe, when I broke down the entire structure, took a look at everything, I believe this was one of the hallway components, right? Or is this a corridor? Is there a difference? Well, let's look around for a little bit more time. This is definitely a spiral staircase that is also inside of a hallway-looking thing, but then this is one of the chambers, so it can't be here. I love that they've done this. They've actually cooked up updates to the big update that came out this summer, though. Oh, that's a topic for another time, but that is so fire. All right, here's another door. Let's see what's behind door number 2. We go all the way down a spiral staircase to a loot chest. All right. Sliding into spectator mode right here to fly around the structure to see if I can notice anything a little bit different looking. I'm not really seeing anything going on in this structure that screams, hey, this is an encounter. But you know how it goes. The trial chamber structure, it's a very wild and varied structure. Maybe perhaps we find another. These are the types of changes that I really love to, no offense, but I love to check them out on Minecraft Java a little bit more because you could easily like dive into the structure files and everything. Whoa, wait a second, is that a different variation here? I don't remember a cut that cuts down and just walks in a square. That's really cool. All right, but anyways, we're back into a big hallway, a corridor for sure. This is an intersection. This brings us to this change right here with the beds. The coloration of the beds has been varied. You can now find, I believe, any color of bed, or at least like the coloring is randomized inside of these chambers now. Oh, sneaky, sneaky. All right, but please, baby, please, I beg you, give me an encounter. I would like to encounter an encounter, please. Anything, anything. Not over here. Nope, not there. Definitely not right here. Behind door number 1, not there. Behind door number 2, I found a wall. So we got the old-fashioned trap right there inside of the hallway. That's cool. We've got the old-fashioned spawners right there. You call me crazy, sure, but this looks a little bit different. There's nothing behind it, though. Flip into the spectator mode to fly around and look around at the hallways right here. I'm not seeing anything that's that... Oh. Aha. I spoke too soon, my friends. All right, so check this out. We got this big main atrium hallway corridor, whatever you want to call it. We go up the spiral staircase. This is a little bit old-fashioned. It's spiraling, disifying, you know how it goes. But anyways, we walk into this room, which looks just like a room they showed off at Minecraft Live, by the way. But we walk into this room, and it's a singular small room. We've got a vault, we've got a trial, and we've got a couple of traps right here. But that's all there is to it. And it's a breeze spawner, too. That's quite interesting. Then we have a big jump up, 100% different. And this will lead us into a proper chamber, assembly room, So there we go. Encounter numero uno. I like it. That's a cool idea. Like I mentioned, I can't wait until like next week when it's on Java, hopefully, and we can dive into the individual structures. But whoa, that is sweet. I wonder if this is where Honeypot, Stair Spike, and those other cool things are gonna come in. That's fire. I guess while we're at it real quick, it won't take too much time. We should take on our very first encounter, the breathing spawns. No. As long as I spam you in the corner and get up close, you are a piece of cake. Look at that. Easy. Done and dusted. Give me a key. No, not a piece of bread. What was in the trap, though? We got water. Ooh, that's bad. And then we got arrows. No big deal. I could dodge those. Yeah, that was pretty good. Okay, so this snapshot is absolutely massive. Like, technical side, this stuff is huge. Sliding back over to the main menu, in this preview, we have a total of 0 brand new toggles, but that holiday toggle thing, it's 100% gone. It's removed. Maybe it's been like that for a minute now that I think about it. I don't know. Either way, it's gone. I suspect maybe, say, next week or whenever the bundle is added, maybe there's a new toggle added to the game. Maybe they just straight up implement the bundle in this next update that is already looking to be pretty substantial. With easily around 100 different item changes inside of this week's preview, oh boy, we got a lot to talk about. This sign says rare because this preview, one of the biggest focuses is all about item rarity, which has been adjusted and changed. Essentially, we've got the old system that has a brand new facelift, a revamp on the rarity system. Developer insight. This is always one of my favorite things. I love it when you get like exact specific words from the devs. King B-Dog is a man himself. In today's beta, a rework of the rarity system has been introduced. It's an often ignored part of the system. The goal here is to like make it a little bit more clear for other players. It doesn't really impact the gameplay. It just is, I guess, a better way to flex. They are open to feedback on this one though, so after checking out these items, if you disagree with one of them, you gotta send the information over to the developers. But first things first, if you're out of the loop on rarity, basically rarity has to do with the color of the word for the item. So like for example, let's pick this random block right here, a block of gold. That's got a white text because it's a common item. Meanwhile, if we think of something that is pretty rare, like let's say the heavy core, you see that? That's got a magenta colored thing because it's rare. Gameplay-wise, the rarity stuff doesn't change anything. It's just kind of almost like a way of knowing how hard it is to maybe get a certain item in the game. It's kind of funny. It's understated, so it's like you already just have to know about the mechanic to understand it, but yeah. I guess if you know, you know. We've got a lot of changes inside of this preview, beginning with a couple of downgrades. I can't recall what they were before, but the End Crystal and the Golden Apple have both been downgraded to common items. If an item doesn't have a specified rarity, then the rarity of that item will always default to common. Alright, so let's go in order. Common tier is like the basic tier. One step up, we get to the uncommon tier, and oh my gosh, the uncommon tier has items on items on items inside of it now. All of the ominous bottles and the newly renamed ominous banner, they're all uncommon. Every single goat horn, uncommon. Most of the armor trims, uncommon. Most of the discs as well. These other random items like chain armor, echo shards, and nautilus shell, they're uncommon. Another officially uncommon item, I was just, if I'm being honest, a little bit too lazy to lay out every single, like, 20 or so pottery shard, but every single shard is uncommon. Now, I just want to make it really, really clear here that these new rarity levels, like this being uncommon, that being uncommon, the sniff rag being uncommon now, or these trims, no percentages have been changed at all. The only change here that has happened is the color of the name that will pop up when you are holding that item or hovering over that item. So white is common, yellow is uncommon, light blue is rare. Our brand new rare items inside of this snapshot: Enchanted Apple, the Trident is now rare, the Nether Star is rare, and the Wither Skeleton Skull is rare. We also have these things, we'll come back around to them. These 4 trim that are now classified as rare, they're a little bit harder to get after all, and these 3 discs as well. Now, an interesting thing to note here is if we have an item, like let's say the recovery compass, and in its crafting recipe, we have an uncommon thing that is used, well, then that new item cannot move down a tier. So let's say we use echo shards that are uncommon to make the recovery compass. Well, the recovery compass, therefore, has to be at least uncommon tier, maybe even a higher tier. So kind of like same exact thing goes for the mace. The Minecraft 1.21 heavy core is epic rarity, which means the mace, when you craft it, that's got to be at least epic. Interesting little bit of insight, they've decided that the Enchanted Apple and the Trident are both maybe a little bit easier to get than the Mace, so they've been moved to rare tier. If you remember, one of the final snapshots and previews right before 1.21, the Trident was actually bumped up to this purple tier, which has a couple of brand new items. Into the epic tier, the most rare, hard to get stuff in the game, alongside the Mace and some other stuff, we have the Dragon Head. That's a nice flex. The Silence Trim, definitely, absolutely. In fact, this single thing might be the hardest one to get in the entire game. And the Elytra. Sliding over to the changelog for a little bit more documentation on all of these changes. This is all like the explanation that I just went over with you, a little bit more on like their thought process and the rule about crafting. Every single item laid out and listed, just in case I missed one, I absolutely didn't, is right here. You go ahead and take a look at every single one of these items and the different categories and tiers that they're in. This is pretty awesome, and it's coming to Java soon. Ooh, now remember, think back, this is a big, big preview. I'm not talking about it all today. There have been so many other nice bug fixes, including stuff with realms and controls included inside of this release too. One proposed feedback thing that I do have for the devs: enchantments. This should spill over to enchantments as well. The enchanted books should get different rarity colors. For example, protection 1, like that's common. Maybe protection 4, that would be more like rare or something. Meanwhile, mending or maybe some of the new enchantments, those should totally be epic rarity. However, right here, when an item is enchanted, their rarity status is now increased depending on the base rarity. If the base rarity is uncommon or common, it becomes rare, and so on. It moves up. So let's say maybe something like a netherite sword, which is apparently common. That's another one. You can go ahead and debate that one, but I feel like ever since the whole armor trim change of 1.20, it should be bumped up a little bit. But anyways, we go ahead and enchant it, and that level just bumped up to the blue. Definitely, absolutely feel like enchanted netherite should be the magenta one though, right? All right, next up, technical updates. We have quite a few technical updates. A gigantic one right here is this one for custom blocks. Added the Minecraft redstone connectivity component. That's going to mean that custom blocks interacting with redstone, I mean, it's now possible. We also have some brand new API assets. I'm sure Smokey Stack is going to be very happy about that. Editor mode stuff. A lot of editor mode stuff. Like, this is getting really crazy. I gotta check it out again soon. Loot table stuff, and yeah, just in general, there are so many experimental and non-experimental technical updates inside of this preview. But there's one more big thing I saved to the end. Oh my gosh, rejoice, because lazy items, well, we've got one less of them inside of this release. Wow, they're good. They look modern. They look clean. I need them in my life right now. Every single banner pattern in the game has now been actually retextured. Look at how good this looks. So this doesn't affect how they're going to actually show up on a proper banner, but look at these brand new icons. They're so good looking. I wonder, maybe it's like way too much to ask, but I wonder if they would do this for the paintings as well. But either way, this is so cool looking, and these are now like proper good display items. Like maybe you're building a bathroom, you want like ripped toilet paper in the bathroom you're offering to your guests. You sicko, that's messed up. Well, yeah, you could put this. It looks like a... I can't unsee it. It's like toilet paper. But like toilet paper in a good way, or context is everything, right? If it's laying on a table, it's very clearly like a document or a piece of paper or something. These are... Actually, I'm not gonna lie, maybe it's recency bias, but some of my favorite looking items in the entire game. These are clean, smooth textures. Fire, chef's kiss, and this is an amazing beginning to a brand new update. And it also means maybe next week is update week, my dudes. Oh yeah. So, Minecraft 1.21.30, the update begins. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. If you haven't yet, tap that like button. My patrons, I'd like to send a huge thank you to you: Ground Crazy Babe, Medical Boomstick, Fire Dragon 19, Steve M, and Nick C. If you love my content and you'd like to support me a little bit more directly, check out my Patreon, or consider joining Member Club today for some cool perks. Oh, this is such a good day. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.